The reason we've been delaying Allain's tutorial is because this character is so easy yet so strong in the Clash lane. So today we're gonna go over some must-know tips and tricks for this character, combine it with some global 1 Allain gameplay so you get to see how to execute this character properly in lane to truly maximize the effect, the early game domination effect of Allain, so you can rank up faster in Clash lane and carry your noob teammates. Without further ado, let's dive in. Yo guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy Assassin Dave. Welcome back to another tutorial featuring Allain. Now the first tip that we want to talk about is the difference between auto attack CD, auto attack cooldown, and auto attack delay. There's actually a huge difference. The delay can be cancelled, but the cooldown cannot. So for example, right here, if I use my skill 2 and I can instantly use auto attack to cancel the auto attack delay, hence the skill animation canceling, right? We have done this for many different characters, for many different skills. Because if you use skill 2 right here, you can see there's a huge cast animation with this really cool animation with Allain, right? Where he opens up the sword. That's called the skill animation, and you can cancel that. And auto attack has the same delay, right? Like it has a skill animation, you can cancel that. So if I use skill 2 and I use auto attack, I can immediately cancel the really cool animation this character does. But what is auto attack cooldown, right? So if you look at the skill description here, and then for the passive, Allain, every third basic attack, he swings both swords at the same time, dealing this amount of true damage, and then entering a longer basic attack cooldown. Basic attack cooldown is basically, how often you can attack in a certain period amount of time. You can lower this cooldown by increase your attack speed. Although you cannot cancel the cooldown, but you can lower the cooldown. That's number 1. Number 2, you can do other things while the auto attack is on cooldown. For example, Allain, every third auto attack, like right now, right? This is an enhanced third auto attack. So every 3 auto attack is a sequence for Allain, and every third auto attack, you go into a stronger auto attack, but your next auto attack is entering a longer cooldown. You can take a look here. The next auto attack takes a while for you to auto attack, right? It waits a second before it goes to the next attack. This is a longer auto attack cooldown, but during that time, while you're waiting, you can obviously use other skills, because even though you cannot auto attack again, but you can use other skills to cancel it. So, not to cancel, to occupy the time, just like, as if you're using a skill. For example, if I'm using my, now enter cooldown of my auto attack, I can use my ultimate, or I can just simply use my skill 3, or skill 1, sorry, to do the knock up or whatnot. In fact, that's a standard sequence for Allain, right? This is what auto attack cooldown is. But obviously, if I have insane amount of money and I just kept on stacking the attack speed item, for example, I got Doomsday and I just keep on stacking it, right? You can see like the faster I attack, the shorter the cooldown is. I can enter the next auto attack really, really fast, right? But it still has a cooldown because the cooldown cannot be canceled. And even if I use my skill 2 right here, you can see it still waits a second if I sell my items here. I'm attacking too fast, it's harder to see. So you can see right now, if I enter the third auto attack, you might use my skill 2, it still won't attack, right? It still won't attack, right? It's waiting a second. 1, 2, 3. Even if I press my auto attack, it's like standing still for a second before it like going to the attack mode because of the auto attack cooldown. So just remember, the first way to cancel it, I wouldn't say cancel it, to utilize your cooldown, auto attack cooldown, is do other things, right? To do the skill 1 or to do your ultimate, right? Either one of those to occupy that time. This way you can leverage it. The next thing that you can do is use your skill 2. But how do you use your skill 2 is very, very important, right? Your skill 2 actually increase the attack speed. So if you read the description here, it says right here, after you use skill 2, he gains 12% movement speed, and also his next 3 base attack gains 48% extra attack speed. This is quite interesting because I see some people getting like 3 stack and then they use skill 2. This actually won't do anything because this attack speed only improve the subsequent auto attacks after you use this skill. So what do I mean by that? That means you should only use skill 2 before your third auto attack in this auto attack sequence, right? Every third auto attack is an attack sequence. So you want to use your skill 2 anytime before that, right? You can use your skill 2 to start off. And you can see right now, if you compare that with regulars, I can enter the next attack sequence just a little bit faster because in my third auto attack, I have a quote unquote faster attack speed, which lower the attack cooldown. Or I can attack twice and I can use my skill 2, right? And use my auto attack again. This will also lower the cooldown of the third auto attack, right? The cooldown for the auto attack animation, or just the cooldown in general. just know that you should use your skill 2 any time before your third auto attack. If you use third auto attack now, right, and then I use my skill 2, you see, I wait forever. It doesn't really affect or shorten that cooldown because it only affects any attacks after I use that skill. The next tip that we want to talk about is tips related to your ultimate skill. There's something regarding your ultimate that's actually quite fun that you should pay attention to. So let me demonstrate right here. If I have, number one thing is called a wall trick, right? If I have, target here, I have a target here, for example, you can see right now, and then I have an ally dummy, right? Let's say if I use my ultimate, and then it has a big circle you can see, right? And then when I land, because enemy know this big circle, enemy can also see this animation, the target, the Zhuangzi here, can just very well walk away, right? Because he doesn't want to get hit. But there's something about the wall in this game, as you know, that can squeeze you out of the wall. Let's say if I use my ultimate right here, and I just do this, right? Like where I stand inside the wall, right? Where I pretend that now the animation is not gonna land on Zhuangzi, right? Like, but when I land, you can see the Zhuangzi is still getting hit. The reason for that is because like I got squeezed out when I land. I got squeezed out by the wall, and then still somehow, has these big circle cover the Zhuangzi, so he's gonna take damage. And that's called a wall trick, right? You can basically sometimes land a little bit closer to the wall, and when you land, you're still gonna land in next to the wall and hit enemy in a bigger area and surprise them. The next tip I want to talk about for the ultimate is your stacks, okay? When you use your ult, the more target it touches, the more stacks you're gonna get when you land. So if there's maximum 3 stacks, right? If there are 3 targets that when you land, you're gonna get 3 stack of passive, which means you can immediately use your most enhanced skill 1 to do the most amount of damage, to become immune to quad control, as well as allow you to move, right? Because remember that if you have to have at least 2 stacks and above for your skill 1 to allow you to move. If I only have 1 stack, I cannot move, while using skill 1. So pay attention to that. So just know that sometimes you can do a singular auto attack. Sometimes there are 2 targets, and then you can land immediately having 3 auto attack and do the maximum level of skill 1, which is really, really good. All right, guys. So the last tip I would say is invisible dash, right? There's a lot of character work the same way. Faye, if you watch a Faye tutorial, you can do invisible dash. A lot of other characters can do invisible dash. The key thing is leveraging the tiny wall and leveraging the bush connecting to the tiny walls. For example, this 2 wall right here. If I dash, you can see right now I'm invisible to an enemy, indicated by the little eye above my character. If I dash over this wall, you can see right now I remain invisible the whole time. So this way you can surprise the enemy by coming to the side without being detected, right? If I'm coming towards my base and I want to surprise the enemy through the river, I can just dash across this wall like this. This way enemy won't know I'm in this bush. If they're hiding, for example, somewhere like here, or if we're like, in the mid lane, they won't see me entering that bush. And that's called invisible dash, right? The vice versa. If you sometimes get really, really close to this wall, and then you have the landing position on the other side, but on the other side is actually not always work. You can see the eye quickly disappeared. Just now I did invisible dash. But if you get really closer to the wall, you will do invisible dash, which is pretty cool. Just get familiarized with it. But most of the time, it's very, very easy to trigger the invisible dash, going from the small bush into the center bush. Before I get into the actual gameplay, there's one last thing that you want to pay attention to, okay? Which is regarding your lifesteal. A lot of people don't know how Allain's lifesteal work. Just so you know, right? Like once you have enough energy, this is what Fury does, right? Once you have enough Fury, and then as long as you enter Fury, you can see I just regenerated, right? And this thing has an 8-second cooldown. You can see the cooldown that's counting down right above the execute. Once it goes down the clock, once I've execute again, I can just quickly get my Fury up and then leverage the next regeneration. Remember, this regeneration gives you more HP the less HP you currently have. So when you're low, don't be afraid. As long as you have Fury, don't be afraid to fight, okay? The more you fight, the more likely you're gonna regenerate and then give enemy a surprise counterattack by healing up. Just remember, this is not related to any skill. It's just cooldown of your passive, okay? So every 8 seconds, you're gonna have this ready as long as you have Fury. So just fight to always keep your Fury up in lane. That's why Allain is such a good Clash laner, because you're always fighting something. You're always accumulating Fury. Your Fury gauge in lane is almost always full, right? If somebody try to come fight you, you can just use skill 1, immune to quad control, knock them up, and do insane amount of damage and follow up with execute. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into the Global 1 gameplay. All right, guys, welcome to the Global 1 Allain gameplay analysis breakdown, whatever you like to call it. Before we get started in the gameplay, guys, make sure you use the link in the description or the QR code on screen to get 20% extra token. Now, without further ado, let's take a look. This game is one of the peak tournaments with average peak points to be around 2200-2300, as you can see right here. And our main character is going to be Allain on a dragon. I really like this entering, animation. You can see this is Allain on a dragon here. This is Allain character. It's basically who you're playing on this dragon flying, towards the base. That's so cool. I wish this comes out in the global server soon. Can't wait to get that. And again, if you want to get that animation, once everything's optimized for Honor of King global version, use the link in the description to get 20% extra token. Hopefully we have it. It looks pretty cool. So, starting out, let's take a look at this Allain situation. This Allain is going to be faced against Guan Yu, right? Luckily for us, in this game, you've probably seen every single character, almost every single one of them. So he's going to get 3 stacks here, and then start using skill 1 on the minion wave. This Guan Yu is pretty smart, by the way. He's waiting for Allain to show up, and immediately start hitting him. This Guan Yu is a little bit more mobile. Now he has full fury, so he has a regeneration, remember that. Oh, he almost died here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's take a look at this exchange, right? So he's starting out, just get poked by Guan Yu. And Guan Yu, again, is pretty smart. Leveraging that Allain doesn't really have a lot of mobility starting out, and waiting for that immunity to come off, and then keep on pushing and doing some damage here. But I gotta say, like, he could have waited a little bit longer before he went back in, right? Instead of getting poked here, he got poked for free. So that's skill 1. This is so close, by the way. And that's the thing about like global 1 in the highest elo, I would say Clash Lane fights. In rank, you're gonna see more of these one-on-ones, but in competitive, you won't see it at all, right? When enemy team know that you're strong, you're playing a character like Allain. When you're playing a character that has a lot of lane prio, like Duen, for example, sometimes they just try to give lane to you and try to clear from far away. Remember how strong Allain is in lane, along with some of the other characters that can really just dominate the lane, right? Same as Byron, Allain. I want to see more Byron versus Allain, to be honest. But I don't think people usually do that to waste characters or on global ban pick. Let's take a look here. 1 versus 2 in the bottom lane. He does have the execute. He's gonna go for the jungle. Okay, Guan Yu can't even come in because he knows that Allain have execute, right? You can see he's not really auto attacking. Now he's waiting to last hit. Smart. He backed out a little bit to make sure he doesn't poke him more, and wait for tower to get it low before us and leveraging the last slash to finish it off. He has level 4 now. Coming to the team fight. Let's take a look. How do you want to execute it? It's just Zhang Fei, right? Getting pushed away. Hanshin gets the kill. Wasted the execute. Try to get the kill, I guess, right? And now, is he still gonna fight? He does have ultimate, so I guess. All right, there we go. Gets a shield. And by the way, like, people might forget about Allain's ultimate. When you land, you get your shield as well, right? Not only does it do damage, it also gives you a shield. So, and the more target it hits, the more shield you get. And the people that got hit in the center takes a lot of damage. So just something that you pay attention to. Sometimes you think Allain's pretty low, but it comes down with a freaking shield. Not only with a freaking shield, he has the blood rage with another shield, and he started regenerating with the fury, and he's just like, ah. Really nice execution from the enemy side, getting a kill onto this really good global lane player. Let's take a look, getting 3 stacks. He's mostly leveraging the 3 stack to do damage. Okay, knock up, another knock up. Skill 1 more time, execute. Beautiful. He has ultimate. Let's take a look. And ult, right? Yeah, another free kill, so double kill. Dude, Allain is so strong. Comboing with the teammate is insanely strong. Let's take a look here. He's waiting for Gao. He's cutting Gao's escape path, right? To make sure this guy doesn't get away here. Skill 2. Immediately have 2 stack. He immediately, after he gets 2 stack, he's just waiting for the ability to move. After you have 2 stacks, your skill 1 allows you to move, right? You have only 1 stack, your skill 1 doesn't allow you to move. It just does 2 more slashes. Once you have 2 stacks of your passive, it allows you to move. Once you have 3 stacks, you become immune to quad control. And not only are you immune to quad control, you also do true damage, which is really strong when you fight against the, tankier side lane, for example, here. Oh my god. And you are oh my god. What an outplay, bro. Yo, I know this is a lane, global 1, but look at this. Do you want to leverage the box and then do he just play around this box, Guan Yu cannot do anything, and then did a 1-3. That's crazy. Dude, you gotta see so many, like every player, when every player is good, you can analyze every angle. This new play is just top tier. I thought he's for sure dead. Was Guan Yu catching him while he's teleporting with the portal. But that was good. So teleported towards the mid, clear wave a little bit. Come back to lane, continue to clear wave. All right, probably not gonna fight. Ooh, Sima is here. I'm pretty sure even with Sima, they cannot fight this guy. He's too strong. Allain is too strong right now. On top of the fact that he has ultimate for engage or disengage, finish off, or just to get another shield to keep on fighting, right? To secondary engage, re-engage. This one character is so strong. You get mobility, you get freaking, you know, insane amount of damage, you get qual control, the knockup. Not only that, you also immune to qual control, right? And this character can take execute, which gives you so much like lane pressure. Not a lot of clash laners take like flash, take some other skills, but lane can take execute, you know. So it's, I hate execute, man, to be honest. It's so surprising. When you play clash lane, you gotta pay attention to what skills enemy is taking. Same as marksman lane, right? I would say same as marksman lane, because a lot of marksmen like to take frenzy, and if you're playing against a character that has frenzy and you don't, sometimes the early game trading might be disadvantageous to you, and you might forget about it by not paying attention. So, go to the Vanguard. You push the wave to the bottom side first, having the macro advantage, and now come to clear top side of Vanguard. The Guan Yu for sure is careless. I think Guan Yu is over rotating and losing the tower there. When you have Guan Yu, you should not be losing tower. You should leverage that mobility, clear wave first before you rotate. So let's take a look. Coming from behind. He's all rotating on Guan Yu now at this point. All right, dash. Double knockup just to clear the Vanguard really fast. No one's fighting him anymore. So let's take a look at the bottom side. Going towards Sima. Sima's fighting this Hanxi 101. But he's not regret it. Yeah, I still not regret it. You're not sure where to go. You have Hanxin chasing him, and then you have Allain waiting for the body, hitting the body at the same time. So he's just dead no matter what. All right, let's see this flank. He needs one more stack. I see this quite often, by the way. Most of the lane players just use 2 stacks. 3 stacks will take a little bit too long. The actual 1 second is a huge game changer. And then I see frequently, like in lane, a lot of proficient lane players just use 2 stacks. And you can see most of the time you just use 2 stacks. And then I think the reason for that is 2 stacks is usually proficient on doing a lot of damage. The last auto attack just, yes, it does true damage if it was 3 stack, but the animation is a little bit too long. Right? Not to mention you sit there and do like this huge animation thingy. It's a little bit too long. And I think a lot of people don't want it. They just want to knock up, do damage, and do other sequence after that. So let's take a look. All right, do some damage. Whoa. He has ultimate. He's not really worried at all. Okay, try to get out. Gonna get pushed. Huge shield, jumping on 3 targets. And leveraging the immunity. Can you get out? There's another dash. Let's take a look. This is a 5v5. All right. Wait. He just stands still and did a skill 1 to quickly cancel that. And the skill 2, right? Because it's leveraging Long to get the kill here. So, I mean, just have to be flexible, I guess. But most of the time, you get 2 stacks. 1, 2. This is a 3 stack dash here. All right, come to teleportation. Teleport a Hello Kitty minion. By the way, if you want to get this minion, guys, use the link in the description or QR code on screen to get 20% extra token. All right. So a lot of macro, a lot of wave, leveraging the advantage he has, lane priority to quickly clear wave. You see, like, he hasn't lost a tower from his end, right? The lane that he's protecting, he hasn't lost a tower. So a very, very qualified is the right word, clash lane player, which is focused on wave clear, right? Focus on lane advantage first before, okay, only half a second, can you teleport? The portal should be shut down by now, but he leveraged the last 2 seconds to teleport. You get out of it, come to top side. Mostly just let the teammate fight, you know, instead of fighting himself. By the way, this Allain skin is really cool. I think it's not out yet in global server, but the sugar painter skin is out. So if you want to get a sugar painter skin, again, same thing, use the link in the description or QR code on the screen. 20% extra token awaits for the huge HoK Plus 628 event. Dude, get it. Let's take a look. Waiting this bush here. Dash, dash, all attack, immediate knockup, execute. Right, he's just doing the all execute. Doesn't need the true damage at all. 3 stack. Take a look. Knock up. Secure a little monkey. Okay. Yeah, skill 2. Skill 1. And leverage blood rage. And it's able to get away. Not getting hit by Faye as well. Huge shield. Oh my god, the regeneration saved him one more time. That's That's like too extreme, to be honest. So he's going for the marksman that allows him to dash while attacking. You know, force the flash out. Yes, look at this humongous shield. And then get 1200 regeneration from the Fury passive. Dude, that's way too... This character is way too tanky. I think you might have to build... Like, do you have to build anti-heal for Allain? Because I feel like the regeneration is okay. It's not extremely high. It's mostly just how tanky this character is, you know? And also, you just need ways to qual control him while he's doing that. Yes, skill 1 might be immune to qual control, but stuff like Dong Huang, right, or Zhang Liang will straight up destroy him, I think. And another thing, like, even if you pick Dong Huang or Zhang Liang, imagine, like, your team doesn't have enough damage to finish off, right? Like, he can just ult and then get away, and then you just cry after it. Look at that shield. You got, like, oh my god, plus Blood Rage on top of it. Jeez. That shield is, like, almost getting him back to full HP. That's too much. Dude, this little habit of, like, fidget spinner habit of click on item and click off. This is so, like, everybody who's playing mobile, I feel like, is a little bit ADHD. Oh, there it is. He has Spark Forged for the attack speed. To lower the, I would say, the attack cooldown, right? As we mentioned. So, Blazing Cape, Spark Forge, Succubus, and he has Blood Rage, and he has the Cuirass of Savagery. So, he has full build. Let's see what they want to build after that. Sage Sanctuary, selling boots, maybe? Wave Clear. Okay. See, Tower Push, ignoring. Jump away, knock up. And then immediately ults. Look at that shield. Alright, immediate qual control. Use dash to get out. He somehow survives with 1 HP again. Dude, this is so insane. Jumps in. Blood Rage. Soak up so much damage. The fact that he survives with that, that's a little bit too much. And that's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. The ending animation is so cool, by the way, with the dragon, you know, spitting fire onto the base. Why is this available in Honor of Kings? Some cool things should just be available, no? So let's take a look. MVP 13.9 Allain, Chinese server ranking 226, right? This is a 2300 points peak tournament. This is the finishing build. You can see right here, right? He was gonna buy Sage Sanctuary, I believe, but the game didn't last that long. It's already ended. 13.9. By the way, are you excited for the new ranking system? You know, let me know in the comment section down below, okay? Because I am. I'm for sure very, very excited about it. Leave a comment down below, let me know. With that, it's Sunday signing off, and I'll see you guys all next time, if there is next time. Bye for now.